Hey guys, Outdoor Prepper, welcome back to the channel. Probably the number one question I get from friends, relatives, and viewers like you is what size generator and what type of generator should I buy for my house, for my RV, for my situation? And today I'm going to attempt to answer that question. I have three of the most common sized generators on the market today in America. And I'm going to tell you roughly how much power they can produce, how much they cost, and what they can power, so that you can make an educated decision on what best fits your needs. But if you could do me a favor right before we start, if this video is helpful, if you can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But let's dive right into it, and I'm going to tell you the three types that are here, and then we're going to pull the camera in. So the first one we have here, this is a 10,000 watt tri-fuel generator, and this can pretty much power your whole home. The next one we have is a 5,000 watt dual fuel, so it runs on gasoline and propane, and this can power a lot of things in your home. And then we have a smaller 2,500 watt dual fuel gasoline and propane that can also power a lot of things, but not as much as these. So let's pull the camera in. We're going to start with this big Gidrox. I'm going to tell you what it costs, really what it can power, how it operates, and then we're going to move on to each one, and then we're going to wrap this up by kind of explaining what I think, if I can only choose one, what I think would be the one I would purchase. Okay, so we're going to start here with the Gidrox generator. Now this is a 10,000 watt tri-fuel generator, and this generator costs about $2,000. When I bought it, I think it was $2,100. It routinely goes on sale, and there's a lot of different brands that make very similar, if not almost identical, generators to this one. And let me just show you the side here a little bit. I'll see if I can zoom in. And basically, by virtue of being tri-fuel, this runs on gasoline or propane or natural gas. And at different fuels, you get slightly different power outputs because gasoline produces the most power, followed by propane, followed by natural gas. So what can this power? Basically, a generator like this with this type of setup has a 50 amp plug, which is quite a large plug, and this can plug in, or, connect to your transfer switch. It also has a 30 amp, which can connect to a transfer switch. And then it has two sets of regular outlets. A unit like this could pretty much power your whole house. And by that, I mean this generator produces 240 volts of electricity. So it can power a well pump, a dryer, a central air, a hot water heater tank if it's electric. Basically any heavy duty electrical load is probably going to run on 240, and this can handle 240. Now it can also obviously power regular things like a refrigerator, a window AC, lights, television, internet, router, all that stuff. But you're really primarily interested on a unit this size to power, your whole house. You would want to hook this up to a transfer switch, plug it in, and then just flip a switch on your circuit breaker panel, and you're basically powering everything. And I picked this up because, like I said, I have other smaller units, but sometimes in the dead of the summer, when you have a big power outage, you want that central air, you want that mini split, that AC system. And depending on the size of your central air, you may need what's called a soft start kit. And it's basically like a big capacitor that allows the surge from the central air, or it allows the generator to handle the surge from the central air. So, like I said, let's just summarize this. About $2,000, 10,000 running watt, 10,000 starting watts, 8,000 running, 7,200 running, 6,400 running, depending on what fuel type you're using. But this can power a lot, and for the average person, this can probably power most of your home, if not all of the home. The next generator up, which is one of my personal favorites, is a 5,000 watt generator. Now this generator has 5,000 starting watts, and it has 3,900 running watts on gasoline and 3,600 running watts on propane. A unit like this is perfect for a travel trailer. Maybe you have like an RV that you want to power, but you can also hook this up to your house, to your home transfer switch, and I did a whole video on that, and I'm going to link to that in the description below. So this generator has what's called a TT30 outlet, and this is basically, TT is for travel trailer, and it also has a regular, Edison outlet that you would have in your house. Now I have an adapter cable to hook this TT outlet into my transfer switch, and with this generator you cannot produce 240 volts, so this would not power your well pump. This would not run your central air. This would not run your electric hot water heater. This would not run your electric dryer. But what this will run is your refrigerator, all of your lights, your television, your coffee maker, your toaster, your microwave, your computer, the internet, the Wi-Fi, fans, a window AC. And when I say all that, I want to preface it with it's not going to power all of those items at the same time, whereas something like this probably would. But you can run all of your lights at the same time with your computer and your internet and your window AC and your fridge, and you could charge your phone. But if you go to put the toaster and the microwave on at the same time, you might overload it, because a toaster and a microwave, they take a lot of power. Just as an example, a toaster would take about 1,300 watts. The microwave would take another 1,000 watts. So if you're already pulling, 2,000 or 3,000 watts with everything else, and then you throw those guys on, you might overload it. But something like this is great because this generator costs roughly, let's say, $900, because it goes on sale quite frequently at Harbor Freight. The list price of this is $1,099, but you can routinely get this for $899, give or take, on Harbor Freight. I will tell you, it's going to be a spoiler alert, this still is probably my favorite generator, because this can power the bulk of the stuff that you need. Again, if you don't have or need 240, this can power the bulk of the stuff, and it's very fuel efficient. A unit like this on a 20-pound propane tank can run about 12 hours, 13 hours, and I did a whole runtime test on it. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on what you're powering, but just to give you a rough figure. Moving on to the next generator here, I also really like this, and obviously because I own it. This is what's called a Suitcase style generator, and that's because it's kind of in the shape of a suitcase. Now, a unit like this produces 2,500 starting watts and about 1,800 running watts. And the difference there is a starting watt is when you turn on, for example, a window AC, there's a huge rush of current to get that compressor and that motor started. And so it may pull 2,000 watts to start that air conditioner, but then as soon as it has started, which will be about a second or 2 seconds, it's going to drop down to about 800 watts, 900 watts to actually run the unit. But you have to have a generator sized appropriately to handle the starting wattage. And appliances basically have starting watts. So a washing machine might have a high starting watt, a refrigerator, a window AC, a well pump, an air compressor. Those types of devices generally have a larger starting wattage. But what can this unit power, and who would be the consumer for a unit like this? The person that wants a generator like this is concerned about a power outage, but they don't need to power everything in their home. So to them, it doesn't matter if they can't power their, sauna or their hot tub or their, I don't know, pick the non-emergency item that you have, and this probably cannot power it. But what this can power is your refrigerator. This can power all of your lights as long as they're LED, and pretty much everybody has LED lights now. You can power your phone chargers, your television, your Wi-Fi. You can charge your laptop. You can run a box fan in the house to keep yourself cool. And this can basically do that very comfortably all day. If you were to plug in a window AC, yes, this could power it, but you may not be able to power the window AC and the refrigerator with this unit. Again, it depends on the size of your window AC and it depends on the size of your fridge. But this generator is really good for someone that wants to have backup power because they don't get outages often, but when they do get an outage, they want to be able to plug in the fridge, keep the lights going, and stay in communication. And a unit like this is a dual fuel. This can hook up to a barbecue tank, a 20-pound barbecue tank, and it has 35 hours of runtime. That's amazing. Now, this also runs on gasoline, and it takes about a gallon of gas, and you could pour that in, and you'll get maybe roughly 11 hours of runtime, 15 hours of runtime. Again, it depends on the load. But with a barbecue tank, a 20-pound barbecue tank, you're looking at 35 hours of runtime. So to get back to the original question, which unit is the right one? Let's just kind of summarize the differences. We have this very large Gidrox. It's about $2,000, give or take. It has 10,000 starting watts, and it can power pretty much your whole house, depending on the size of your house and what you have. But good rule of thumb, almost the whole house. We have the 5,000 watt dual fuel unit that costs about, let's say, $900, give or take. Sometimes it's on sale. This can power a good number of items, but nothing that's 240 volts. And then we have this Champion dual fuel that produces 2,500 starting watts. We actually didn't go over the price, I forgot. The price on this varies, but you can get this for roughly $450 to $500. And this can power the emergency essentials, the fridge, the lights, the television, the Wi-Fi, the router. It can charge your phones. It can do all the very basic essentials, but it cannot produce 240 volts. It cannot run your central air, can't run your hot water heater if it's electric. But again, you don't need those items. So I hope that this video has showed you that you have a lot of options. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, get that small Champion, tuck it away in a corner of the garage, and when you have an outage, at least your fridge stays cold, your food does not get wasted, you can have some lights on, you can have some creature comforts, and let me tell you, if you have a week-long outage and you have that Champion unit, you will be so happy that your food is cold in the fridge, the lights are on, your phones are charging, and you can watch some TV. If you've got a little more money to spend and you get the Predator, you can power some more items. You can throw in the window AC, you can throw in a couple of other things, a couple of necessities and niceties. And then if you have more money to spend, you get something like that Gidrox, and you're going to be sitting pretty the whole outage with pretty much your whole house running. Now there is one last thing to consider, and that is fuel. And the reason I chose all of these generators, and I'm going to put a link in the description to each of these generators, where you can buy them and roughly the cost at the time of this video. And I'm also going to post a link to my review of each of these generators because I dive into details in each of them separately. But the last item that you should consider is fuel. Something like this Gidrox is obviously going to be much more thirsty for fuel than something like that Champion. And the Predator from Harbor Freight in the middle is going to kind of be the best of both worlds. I got this because it's tri-fuel. So we have natural gas here where I live. And if I hook this up to the natural gas connection, this can basically run indefinitely until I either run out of natural gas, which will presumably never happen, or the power comes back. If you don't have natural gas, you can hook this up to very large propane tanks if your home has those, up to and including, you know, a 1,000-gallon propane tank, or you can go as low as a 20-pound barbecue tank. So this just gives you a lot of options. And then obviously you can pour gasoline in here, but this takes 8.7 gallons of gasoline, and you can probably get about 13 hours, 14 hours of runtime, maybe a little bit more on the gasoline. But keep in mind, that's a lot of fuel, so you've got to have sufficient fuel. The Harbor Freight unit, dual fuel, so you can run this on gasoline, and on a tank of gasoline, and this takes about 4 gallons, you can run for roughly 12 hours, which is pretty efficient. You can also run on a barbecue tank for, again, roughly 12 hours. The Champion, the smallest one, 35 hours on a barbecue tank, let's say 15 hours on a gallon of gasoline, because that takes about 1¼ gallons of fuel. So you just have to consider, if you buy any of these units, consider its fuel consumption and make sure you have enough fuel on hand. I truly think for the average person that does not get a power outage too often and that is not concerned with all the niceties, you can get away with a smaller size unit like the Champion or the Predator. Again though, there are a lot of people that you live somewhere deep down south and you have really humid days where air conditioning really almost is a lifeline, and without it you could have a medical event. So you definitely want something like this Gidrox unit to really power your air conditioning. Guys, I hope this video was helpful. I answer every single comment and I do my best to answer your questions on the side. So if you have questions, please leave them in the comment section and check out the description, because I'm going to link to all of these and I'm going to link to the reviews of all of these. I hope this has helped you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.